Hey guys, I want to start off this fitness, physical motivation thing that I'm doing on Tuesday with one statement, and I want to make sure that that's the first thing that I tell everybody here. I am not a personal trainer, and I will never claim to be a personal trainer. That is not my lane. I did not go to school for any of that. I didn't do any of that stuff. I'm a person who was discouraged in his early years, all through his teenage years, never was a part of any organized sports. I was discouraged from doing so. I was too skinny. I wasn't good enough for any of that stuff. Well, when I turned 18, clicked up with some friends up north who were still in school, and they were competing in wrestling and football and basketball and track and everything you could think of. Well, when I started hanging out with them, I realized I'm actually decent athletically, for someone who had no practice or training in that. So when I figured that out, I locked into my physical mindset, and then I said, well, let me see how far I could push myself. It wouldn't be a lot of years until I became sober from alcohol to really find my lane athletically and really push myself physically and see how far I can excel. And it's actually been pretty amazing because I get a lot of compliments on my physicality and the things I'm able to do physically. And this is something that was not even a real thing for so much of my life. So now in my later years, I'm 45 now, I got a Savage race on August 5th, which will be my first race since cancer surgery. It's a big one. I'm doing 2 races in one day. I'll cross about 12 miles, over 50 obstacles. It's a lot. But these are the type of challenges I like to set for myself. But where I want to start with this is we set our bar too high to begin with. We want to jump into large routines. We want to go because it's been so long that we weren't doing anything. If we learn that more than anything, our bodies just need to be trained, and if we're at a 0, we need to start at a half or a 1 or something, as long as we continue to make progress. Our progress, not against others' progress. It's all about us. If you start out walking and then one day you jog for 30 seconds or 5 seconds, but you didn't jog for 5 seconds the day before, you're already making progress. Don't matter how many weights you start with. It don't matter where you do your fitness. That's why I didn't even want to start this thing. A lot of these videos will probably take place in the gym, in my home gym over here, but that's not where I wanted to start this, because this isn't about this. You work your muscles, you work your body any way that you find to work it. Ideally, any good training regimen is going to have you working every body part every week. So you find the lane that works for you. It might be a yoga routine. It might be, resistance bands. It might be full-on weight training. It might be aerobics. It might be, there's so many lanes, and we're all different. We're all so different. And we have to find the one that works for us, because the more comfortable we find ourselves in that routine, we look forward to it. And now we go in there and we can really push ourselves to be better because we found our lane. So someone else will preach a lane that's just not going to be yours, and every time you try to do it, it's uncomfortable. Training is going to be uncomfortable. You're going to want to push yourself beyond your limits to where you thought you couldn't do it. But you have to find at least a start zone that you could set up shop, and you can know you're going to be there a lot. Switch things up a lot. Muscle confusion is very important, so you don't have to be married to this routine, but you have to be comfortable in it to keep some consistency. So whatever you're doing, set the table for yourself. If you set the table too big, you'll never finish that meal. Sometimes you won't even show up because now you don't want to waste the meal. But if you set it small, you can expand on that as you get in, and you'll know your limitations. Like I said, you start out small, you do a little bit, and jot down everything that you did. Always try to document your workouts or your training, whether it be writing it down in a book, whether it be typing it into your phone in your notes, or whether it be having an actual fitness app, Fitbod, or whatever other ones, and you can log it all right in there. And that'll track your progress, so you'll know how good you're doing. Even when you feel like you're not, you can go back to day 1 and be like, oh, that would be easy right now. That's the most I could do that day. this is what fitness is all about, and this is how you want to build on it. So just wanted to start this off with a little bit of an introduction. I could show you some routines. I will show you some routines over time, but it's nothing to live by. What you need to do is you need to find your routine, find your base, find it. Some people love powerlifting, so I don't. Some people love yoga. Yoga is great. Like the DDP yoga is fantastic, but sometimes it's a little bit hard for me to stay in that lane, because then once it ignites everything and gets everything ready, now I want to go lift weights, and not everybody's like that. So it's about finding your space that you're going to be able to better yourself within. That's it. So it's just a little introduction, first video. See you later today. We'll do some more.